Hey everybody, this is Jason Campbell, and we're going to be talking about the future of work here. And I had a chance to interview amazing thought leaders on the subject, and I have to let you know that the future is already here. I mean, we're seeing it happen day in and day out. The speed of innovation is so hard to understand. If you follow futurists such as Peter Diamandis or Ray Kurzweil, who talk about the law of exponential technologies, we're really seeing that whatever's happened between 2020 and 2000, that amount of innovation took hundreds of years to happen in the past. So as much as we think that these rates of innovations are happening linearly, this is not the case. It's happening exponentially. And it's so hard for our minds to understand what that means that it's very hard to even predict what's happening. And so when we're in the workplace, what's the skills that we should be developing? And you're hearing about these things happening such as AI, machine learning, automation. What are the jobs that are going to be left in the future? And so if this is a concern to you, don't worry, you're not the only one. It's a concern for governments, for countries, for big companies, because they have to understand, like, how do we make use of the people that we have? What are the areas that we need to develop our people to become leaders within the organization? Like, what are those skills that are going to be left? If computers are coming up, for example, someone's like, well, maybe I'll become better at doing programming. Yes. Okay, but what if machine learning comes and you realize that all the programming that you need to do gets done automatically by a machine? What's left, right? Now, you might be thinking that this is a warning, you should be panicking, and that is not the case. Fact is as I spoke to these experts, it was fascinating to hear the trend that is happening, and you'll be happy to know that the future is actually more human than we think. And so I don't know if you have a positive outlook or a negative outlook on what the future looks like. I'd like you to take a moment. I put up a poll, and on the poll I want to know, what are your outputs on the future? Do you think it's positive? Do you think it's negative? Do you think you're not sure? Let me know and see what other people have been commenting based on what their predictions for the future of work is, because I think the media programs us to be a lot more negative than we need to be. When I interviewed Nada Sanders, she wrote a book called The Human Machine. And the human machine is not some cyborg, so calm down. It's really about how we're gonna not be replaced by machines. We're gonna be working hand in hand with machines. Just like how, we're still allowed to walk, we're still going places, yet now that we work with machines such as cars, we get to get much further, do so many new things that we never thought possible before. And so there's going to be new jobs that are coming out, there's going to be new ways that we're interacting in the workplace. And what I want to give you is a couple of those skills that you need to develop. And here's what's really cool about it, is really the way that the workplace is evolving is to be more human in the workplace. The World Economic Forum did a survey about what are the top skills that are going to be needed in 2022. And some of those top things are analytical thinking and innovation. You're talking about active learning and learning strategies, learning how to learn. You're talking about how to be more creative. You're talking about developing your emotional intelligence. And we're talking about developing the skills and the qualities that are necessary to be a better leader. And we're not going to go too deep into the leadership here. That'll be the episode for the next time. But what you do want to pay attention to is, what are the skills that you can nurture to communicate better, to be a better human? In essence, you want to embrace your own personal growth as much as possible. This is the panacea to obsolete jobs. This is the solution to make yourself more valuable in an environment that's always changing. Because if you are growing as a person, then you will be adaptable as a person, which means you can learn into a new skill and get into a new position for the kinds of jobs we really have no idea that are coming. I mean, if you are actually focused on those key skills, which are going to make you self-master, make you be more self-aware, you'll realize that what you do on a day-to-day basis might not be what you do in the next 5-10 years, and that's okay. We are going through these exponential times, and these changes are coming faster than ever. And so instead of resisting the future, see how you can just invest in yourself in the present. And those are things that are going to make you better not only in the workplace, but you'll notice they're the same skills that are going to be making you better in your relationships, in your families, with your colleagues, or just friends in general. And so if you learn the skills to be a better human being in all areas of life, I mean, if you're a fan of Mindvalley, you might be familiar with concepts such as the Life Book that works on 12 categories of goal setting. And if you want to see where you fare, then we put up a survey in the description that you can do an assessment and see how you look into your categories and what you can develop. But being developed in every category, from your character, from your physical health, is really going to help you be prepared for the futures to come. But I'll tell you one thing. As the future is coming up fast and these technologies are evolving, you'll realize that we're going to become more and more an instant manifestation and reflection of what's happening within our mind. I don't know if you're somebody that's spiritual or not, but in my case, I do believe that we're all connected, we're all one, and the world that we see is kind of a reflection of that. And as technologies become a closer reflection of everything that's in our minds, then the best things we can work for is be the best version of ourselves, maybe stay more on the positive side, and see how that's going to be reflected as this journey is evolving into a future that I think is going to be absolutely beautiful. And so if you've enjoyed this video and you feel that you have the right skills, I'd be curious to know, what are the primary skills you want to develop? Is it the creativity? Is it the communication? Is it your learning to learn? Or maybe you just want to become a better leader? Let me know below. What are the skills that you know you want to develop within yourself to be better for that future that is coming? And I'd love to know, what are your technologies that you see happening that are directly affecting your work? And maybe I'll be able to jump in and give you a couple tips on how you can evolve from those disruptive technologies so you can come from a place of abundance and not from a place of scarcity. And so if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel, because the next video coming up as well is going to be on leadership and how you can be a better leader for tomorrow. And you've often seen those memes around bosses versus leaders. We'll show you how to be the latter. I'll see you next time. This is Jason Campbell, and thanks for watching.